The Ghost of Hammersmith, a true haunted encounter. Have you ever heard of a haunting so terrifying that it didn't just scare the townsfolk, but it actually led to a death? Tonight I'm going to take you back to London in the early 1800s, when a neighborhood was plagued by nightly sightings of a ghostly figure. A spirit that terrorized an entire district, made grown men tremble, and sparked one of the most shocking cases in British legal history. This is the story of the Hammersmith Ghost, a true haunting with consequences that still echo today. This is Whispers by Dark. It was the winter of 1803 in the district of Hammersmith on the western outskirts of London. Imagine narrow cobblestone streets, dimly lit by flickering oil lamps. The air was thick with fog, and people hurried home before nightfall. But as the sun went down, fear crept in. Why? Because a ghostly figure was stalking the roads after dark. Dozens of residents reported the same chilling sight, a tall figure draped in white, sometimes glowing faintly in the dark. Witnesses swore it would rise from the shadows of the churchyard and drift silently across the street, before disappearing into the mist. Some claimed it had glowing eyes. Others said its form was skeletal, wrapped in a burial shroud. And soon, fear spread like wildfire. The first reports came from local workers making their way home at night. They swore the figure leapt out from behind gravestones, chasing them through the streets. One night, a pregnant woman claimed she came face to face with the ghost. The sheer terror caused her to faint, and tragically, she never recovered. The newspapers began reporting on the ghost, and Londoners flocked to Hammersmith, hoping to catch a glimpse of it. But this wasn't just a rumor. Respectable townsfolk, shopkeepers, tradesmen, even constables claimed they'd seen it too. And every night, the sightings grew. The fear was so intense that men began arming themselves just to walk home after dark. Some carried sticks, others pistols. But the ghost was elusive. It would appear suddenly, terrifying anyone in its path, then vanish without a trace. People started whispering that it was the restless spirit of a suicide victim, buried in consecrated ground against church tradition. Supposedly, its soul could not rest. Doomed to wander the earth, frightening the living. Whether it was real or not, one thing was certain. This ghost was dangerous. On the night of January 3rd, 1804, a man named Francis Smith, a local excise officer, decided he had enough. Armed with a shotgun, Smith patrolled Black Lion Lane, determined to confront the ghost once and for all. The fog was heavy that night. His footsteps echoed on the cobblestones as he scanned the shadows. Every creak, every gust of wind made him tighten his grip on the weapon. And then he saw it. A tall white figure moving slowly through the darkness. Smith shouted a warning. "Who are you? Speak, or I'll shoot!" But the figure didn't respond. Smith raised his gun and fired. The ghost collapsed instantly, but when he approached, his blood ran cold. It wasn't a ghost at all. It was Thomas Millwood, a 29-year-old bricklayer, dressed in his white work clothes. News of the killing spread instantly. Smith was arrested and charged with murder. The trial became one of the most talked about cases of the time. The defense argued that Smith truly believed he was shooting at a ghost, and therefore had no intent to murder. Witnesses testified that Millwood's white clothes often caused him to be mistaken for the spirit. His wife had even begged him to wear a coat over them at night, fearing something like this would happen. Despite this, the jury found Smith guilty of murder. He was sentenced to death, but in a twist of fate, King George III later commuted the sentence to 1 year of hard labor. The Hammersmith Ghost incident didn't just terrify a community, it made history. It set a legal precedent in England that a person cannot use a mistaken belief in ghosts as a defense for killing someone. But here's the eerie part. Years later, the haunting reports continued, and finally, a local shoemaker confessed that he had been the one dressing up as the ghost, using a sheet to scare people for fun. But even with his confession, others swore they had seen something far darker, something he could not have faked. So the question remains, was the Hammersmith Ghost just a cruel prank gone wrong? Or was there truly a restless spirit haunting those London streets? To this day, Black Lion Lane is still said to be haunted. Locals claim to see a pale figure drifting near the old churchyard, especially on foggy nights. Maybe it's the spirit of the poor bricklayer, doomed to wander after being mistaken for a ghost. Or maybe the original ghost was real, and it still lingers, waiting for its next victim. So if you ever find yourself walking alone in Hammersmith after dark, remember this story, and whatever you do, don't stop if you see something white in the mist, because it might just be the ghost of Hammersmith. If you enjoyed this true ghost story, make sure to like and subscribe for more chilling tales from the past. And let me know in the comments, do you believe the Hammersmith Ghost was real, or just a legend? You stay safe out there, folks, and we'll see you on the next one.